Hi guys, it's Danny from Orchid Nature. So today we're gonna mount some orchids, and these are the first orchids that I mount ever. So I will use some cork slabs, I think they're called. This used to be one, but I just noticed it was kind of cracked, so I decided to make two of them because I have two orchids. Drilled a hole on this one, and I'll just use a little wire to hang this one as well. So the orchids we're gonna mount today are Aerangis which has a blooming spike. As you may know, I just ordered this and I'm not sure if the blooming spikes will make it, but anyway, this is a sort of, you can't really see it, can you? This is a sort of plant that really likes to be mounted. And also we're gonna mount Aerangis rhodosticta, which came like this. It's a tiny little plant but has very good roots. So we're gonna mount this on the smaller bark, on the smaller cork piece, let's say, and of course the other one on the bigger one. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is unpot this one. I'm gonna disinfect these guys because they were on the road and it was pretty damp and pretty moist there, so I don't want any fungus or other activities. I'm gonna spray them with hydrogen peroxide just to make sure there's no spores, and I'll come back when I'm gonna mount them. Okay, so here we are. I sprayed my plants with hydrogen peroxide. There are many reasons why you want to disinfect your plants. I will not discuss about them. I have many videos on the subject. So what I did with this one is cut away all the dead roots, which are somewhere there right now. As you can see, this orchid really suffered because of the broken down medium. There are loads of patches of burned root or root tips here, and this is because the decomposing media started to become toxic. Anyway, mounting this orchid will do it a great deal of good, I believe. There will be no more decomposing media to affect the roots. Anyway, I left whatever was stiff, and yeah, I think it will bounce back really fast. Alrighty, so let's start to mount. First off, I will use some sphagnum moss just to retain a little bit more water to the cork. I really want to hydrate it first, because this is the type of medium that works better if it's moist. So I will start by mounting this little guy here, and I will use the smaller piece of cork. Now there are there are two ways of actually mounting this orchid. One is facing up like so, but I believe this is not really natural for the plant. I would rather mount it like so. As you can see, the natural way of growing of this plant is downwards, and there are many benefits to this. If there's any water trapped here, it will just drip away. It will not create pools of water in between the leaves, and it will actually limit rots and stuff like that. So this is the way I will mount it. I will try to spread the roots on the mount, being very careful not to break them. Let's see if I can find the proper spot. I believe this is a good spot for it. In the end, the roots will start to swirl around this mount. They will attach themselves to all the crevices. It's a really lovely mount, actually. So this is where I want to place it. Then I will put a little bit of sphagnum moss just on top of the roots to retain more moisture. Okay, the moss will also help me in the summertime. I tend to have really hot summer times, and I would have to actually soak this cork a few times a day if I didn't use the moss. Anyway, it's a very airy mixture, as you can see. The moss is just here to provide some extra humidity. Now that I have my orchid in place, I will try to wrap it with something, and what I chose to use is actually some raffia wire. If you don't know what this is, it's a biodegradable material. It will degrade over time, possibly in a year. And I'm going to use it because eventually this orchid will attach itself to the cork and I will actually not need the wire. Also, the moss may stay like this. If I feel that the moss is just falling away, I'll add some more raffia along the way. But for now, I'm going to tie it with this piece of raffia. Okay, so it would be really useful if you find a pair of hands lying around the house. I did. I don't have 4 hands. I have a helper here. So what I want to do now is actually wrap the raffia wire around the cork to stabilize the roots. Also, I will catch the sphagnum moss as well. This is just until the orchid starts to attach its roots. You don't have to make it very tight. Oops. Just to hold the orchid. Now it's just a matter of making a knot here. And there we have an orchid mount. If you see that the moss is kind of loose, you can just pack it slightly because it will just stay there. Moss is very flexible. If you feel that you need more raffia wires, you can add some more. I feel that I don't. It will be okay. I'll see how it goes. I will not actually soak this orchid. What I will do is spray it gently with water every day. So I think this should be good. Let's go mount the other orchid now. Okay, I've done the same thing for the second one. This is slightly larger, so I've put just a little bit more moss on top of it. And now we're going to wrap it with raffia. And here we have the second mounted orchid. Now these flower spikes have a weird shape to them. Usually they tend to go down, but since this orchid was grown upwards and I just flipped it upside down, it looks kind of strange, but it will eventually fill in. So okay guys, hope you enjoyed this video. This is my first time mounting orchids and I hope I did a good job. So if you have any other questions for me, just pop them in a comment. If you want to see more videos, just subscribe to my channel and visit orchidnature.com for more discussions, photos and care sheets and all of that. I'll see you next time. Bye!